flesh. It will attack the life that is hosted in your flesh. Bios is easily attacked when anything attacks your blood. Because bios is the biological life. And I showed us that the same way you see a goat, a pig, a monkey, just living their life, doing what they feel like doing part-time. That is how man would have lived if God did not supply a superior life that gives him a higher cadre of existence. I showed us that the way a goat wakes up in the morning and begins to eat till night, that's how man would have been living. The way a chicken just goes around from morning till night looking for what to eat, that is how man would have lived if God did not breathe the breath of life into his nostrils. It is that breath that gives man a superior purpose for life. It's that breath that gives man a higher reason for existence. If you remove that breath, he will fall back into bios, the same kind of life that lesser animals have. And this is how the carnal man lives. He lives for pleasure. He lives only doing what he feels like doing. He cannot keep pace with the instructions of God because he will always be living for pleasure. This is why the carnal man cannot obey God. In fact, the heart of a carnal man is disposed against the instruction of God. In fact, that carnal mind is at enmity with God, because everything God speaks, the carnal mind will perpetually gravitate towards pleasure, towards comfort, towards ease. And so, having established these things, I began to show us that what Adam lost, what God called death, what God meant by you will die when you eat this particular fruit, is that you will lose this breath that quicken the life of God on your inside. And when you lose that life, you will fall back into bios, into the mundane form of existence. And Adam lived in that form for 930 years. So in Genesis chapter 5 verse 3, the same Adam that nobody could tell his age, in the days where Zoe was the platform upon which he found his existence, the days where the life of God still tabernacled within him, nobody could tell his age. He was ageless. The way you cannot put an age to that life that was inside him cannot be regulated by time. But the moment he lost that life, his existence began to be measured by time. So in Genesis 5:3, the Bible says Adam lived 130 years. Now they can read his age. And begat a son in his own likeness, after his own image. Adam was made in the image of God. Genesis 1:26. Let us form man in our image, after our likeness. Adam fell. Adam has not been restored. Adam started procreating seeds in this new fallen image and this new fallen likeness. So we were all born depleted of our true identity, depleted of our true capacities. So the reason for scriptures like all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, meaning nobody came with the glory that was ordained for man from the beginning. Everybody was born deficient. Everybody was born like something that has lost its estate. So when you see anybody trying to become effective in the flesh, I always give this illustration. You are like a scientific calculator in the hand of a market woman. They are using you to do Maggi plus pepper plus oil, but your capacity is more than that. In the fallen realm, using bios, you can find one or two other purposes for your life. It's like carrying a phone and going to the application of calculator inside the phone. The phone has a calculator, but the phone is not a calculator. You can use calculator in the phone, but the phone is bigger than a calculator. The phone has a torchlight, but the phone is not a torchlight. If you go and buy a torchlight, you will see that both this phone and the torchlight can both give you light. But if you compare the phone to that torchlight, you would have reduced the value of the phone. Because beyond the capacity to bring illumination, this phone can establish connection. This is the only thing you can discover about yourself in the fallen realm. Some of you can see that your beauty is something else. When you stand in front of the mirror, you are intoxicated by your reflection. You may start trying to build a career. You are most likely going to start building a career for yourself in the perceived area of strength you found inside this fallen realm. A lady told me that her ordination is to lead men into kingdom. And I said, okay, so how do you go about it? She said it's her beauty that God gave her. That when boys are asking her out, she'll start, as they're talking to her, asking her out, asking for number, she'll be walking towards the church. Then before you know it, all of them will now be in church together. And then I said, wow. Hey. It is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profited nothing. God cannot use your flesh. Your flesh cannot add to the labors of Zion. If there is anything your flesh is particular about, is to propagate corruption. You will soon become very conscious that actually you are not the only beautiful girl. Satan has 1,001 candidates who are wreaking havoc on a daily basis. You, your own, they escort you to church. Some people took them to abattoir. Hello. This is a lamentation. Many men died because they did not know. They didn't know that there are. Listen, look. I know you are laughing. I know you are laughing. But they didn't know that there are special envoys deployed with unique assignments. They know personally that. Can I ask you a question? Can I? Why do you think a human being will throw caution to the wind, abandon contemplation for posterity, and decide to open their body and be totally naked from head to toe and engage in sexual intercourse with another human being, and they record two of them in a camera and upload it on the internet that never forgets, so that somebody somewhere that is now having natural appetite for sex itself is not the sin, because God made sex. Are we together? It is exploring sex outside the provision of God. That's where sin is. Just as making money is not a sin, it is exploring gain outside the provision of kingdom. That's where the sin is. Are we together? So this is what Satan does. It takes time to equip people with a sent mentality. It's only in the kingdom that we don't have people who live for one assignment, and the way Jesus will say, my bread is to do the will of he that sent me and to finish it. The way you hear Jesus say, I must walk the walk of he that sent me, it's a sent mentality. He was not trapped in the web of distraction. This is the prison house where many a man were locked up. They are locked up in a wave of impulses, from the impulse of light to the impulse of sound. The moment they want to gather themselves into any destiny moment, the devil will trigger something again. Either the light gate or the sound gate. Something will come again to steal your attention. Many of you, your grave is your mobile phone. That's where you were buried. You didn't know yet. You don't know yet. That's where they sentence you. You will hold it like this. You will chat. You go and browse. You will go and scroll. You will go and just be checking pictures. And then you will stay there for 4 or 5 hours. Eventually you sleep helplessly like a creature. A creature that is laden with so much weight. Have you seen people who slept with their phone like this? It's a report card of captivity. When spirits look at you, they say, he's not in charge. You don't even have the capacity to say, it's time to sleep. Let me keep the phone. You held it like this till you died. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing that enters your soul is, where did I keep that phone again? You are under attack. Actually, your whole existence has been trapped in a virtual realm. There's a world spirit-wide. You see, you don't know the way they trap men's existence. You will be gaining a sense of importance by the number of likes you are getting, number of comments you are getting. You cannot wait to run there. There's a release of endorphin. It makes you feel loved. It makes you feel appreciated. Like you are building a reputation there. Meanwhile, all the friends you have there are virtual friends. You have 50,000 friends, but nobody can show up for you in the day of trouble. They want to trap your existence in that pseudo realm. You will think you are living, but they locked you up somewhere. That's why you have many ladies under depression. Because that realm, they have their standard for what is acceptable as beauty. So you see somebody who is created in the glory, in the image of God, she cannot have peace. All kinds of photo editing apps. Sometimes when you see the virtual version of you and then people meet the real version of you, they will walk and pass you under pressure. The funny part is that this infirmity is a pandemic. It has infected brothers too. Brothers. I saw a picture of a brother. He did like this. You know this pumping of your cheeks that ladies do. I don't know why they do it, sha. But the brother did like this and I also did like this. I now said, wait, oh, what happened to this son of Adam? It's a web. It's a web. The attempt is to detain your existence. So that before you are conscious, your choice years are spent. It is spent under the web of distraction. Any day you want to become conscious and say, what have I been doing with my life? Look, what have I done with the past 1 year? When they see that you are trying to enter spiritual consciousness, they open another channel of distraction again. So for years, you will come out in the morning, you will sleep in the night, but you cannot actually tell what you have done with 4, 5, 6. Let me give you 1 minute wherever you are. Please check. What did you do? What did you do with 2024? If you cannot pinpoint one thing that you pushed violently and intentionally, I'm not talking about something you are trying to make work, it did not work. If there are no clearly laid out purpose, a vision that you pursued deliberately with 2024, even if you achieved it or not, notwithstanding, but that you knew you gave yourself wholly, brother, you are under attack. Take 1 minute wherever you are. The grip of distraction is like a demonic drum beat. They play it over a generation so that we are dancing, we are dancing, we are dancing, entertainers. There's no end to the insatiable appetite of fornication. There's no end to the insatiable appetite for personal aggrandizement. You continue to be laden year in, year out until the season of your appearing elude you. There are realms of warfare in the kingdom. Of warfare in this kingdom. For those of you whose heart pants to keep pace with the movement of God, the highest among them is the evil sin, not disobedience. Disobedience is the first layer. When you overcome disobedience, they draw you again into pleasures. Pleasures open doors and breakthroughs. Your own temptation is no longer outright disobedience. They open a door so that your only temptation now is to go out of alignment, lack of alignment. The temptation of a good man is a good thing. The third layer of warfare is distraction. Distraction. They know they cannot stop your body from entering church. They know they cannot stop your feet from entering the hall. But let's see how your mind can stay inside that place of encounter. So your body is always at the holy place, but your mind journeys by demonic impulses. Oh brother, guard your heart with all diligence. Guide it, because out of it are the issues of life. He said to his servant, I do nothing without thy mind. I do nothing without thy mind. I do nothing without thy mind. If God shows up on your mind is not available. Satan knows that the span of attention of the average young man, the average young woman is just 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, they are distracted.